Dear friends, we must defend and preserve the rule-based system of multilateralism because it is based on principles and not on merely power. Because it is designed to protect us all, especially the most vulnerable. In these critical times, humanity is engaged in a series of competitions. We find ourselves competing to control the extraction and processing of minerals that are essential to the challenging energy transitions towards the use of clean energies. We also race to achieve mastery over advanced technologies like semiconductors and artificial intelligence. We are even having new endeavors to return to the moon, especially to its southern hemisphere, driven by the promise of securing water and other resources. Amidst these pursuits, but in the realm of cooperation rather than competition, we also face the challenge of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals outlined in the 2030 Agenda, a commitment made here in 2015. Sadly, we see that we are off track with the agenda, and in some cases, even regressing. In stark contrast with the worrying increase in military spending in recent years, including nuclear weapons, the global community has not yet to unlock the necessary financing for adaptation and mitigation in response to the climate crisis. Similarly, emerging and developing countries lack the necessary resources to address the SDGs, with 1/3 of the countries within the UN system standing on the brink of debt distress. Make no mistake, our actions and their outcomes shed light on our priorities. At this point, the concept of realpolitik often appeals to the idea of selfishness and greed as inherent to the human nature, suggesting that such traits have always existed and will continue to exist. Yet, humanity is a paradox, at once admirable, enigmatic, and complex. Our shared human potential led us over 4,000 years ago to create the first manifestations of art, the handprints impressed in caves all around the world as a testament to our own common identity. My universalist faith is neither naive nor absolute. It is grounded in a framework of empathy, pluralism, celebration of diversity, and freedom. Therefore, I speak today from a position of optimistic realism. The preamble to the SDGs agenda powerfully states, this agenda is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. It also seeks to strengthen universal peace in larger freedom. This endeavor, perhaps the most ambitious and beautiful task the nations of the world have undertaken together, calls us to action. This call to action together reminds me of the Southern Africa philosophy of Ubuntu, which proclaims, I am because we are. In line with the Paris tradition, in line with last year's Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework to protect 30% of land and ocean by 2030, the SDGs and the United Nations themselves are all testaments of the strong spirit of unity in the human soul. Last week, inspired by the Hindi Sanskrit, the G20 summit embraced the motto, one Earth, one family, one future. Exactly. Leaving no one behind is what defines a family. A global family that must provide development finance to all of its members, to the extent of reforming its financial institutions to do so. Today's outcry from the younger generations to the world's major powers and leaders is a call for global cooperation to address climate change, to preserve biodiversity, to promote global health, to respect women's rights, and to achieve peace. To attain the SDGs, each nation may pursue its unique path, but no nation should do so at the expense of the dignity of others. The full dignity of a family is not achieved until each member thrives with utmost dignity. Human history proves that scars of victories and defeats resonate across generations, far beyond our lifetimes. We are at a crossroads. We can act in a us and them mindset, or we can see ourselves as part of a larger us, united in togetherness, the latter making a powerful difference. Just as returning to the moon should be a collective endeavor, or at least a competition frame within a collective achievement, the SDGs, as a wise and visionary roadmap for humanity, deserve our firm commitment and collaboration. Next week's SDG Summit marks the halfway point in our collective pursuit of these goals. Leaders from around the world will gather at this critical juncture to confront the fact that we have drifted from our intended path, with some of the 17 goals falling behind. However, there is an ample opportunity to correct our course and prioritize the SDGs. The essence of being human lies in our ability to shape our own destiny. Let us seize this opportunity. No aflojar, never give up, leaving no one behind, and embracing the ideals of one earth, one family, one future, embody a language of wisdom and beauty. But even more beautiful, it's its full practice. Let us act, for decisive and coherent action is the true language of hope and love. Thank you.